about the Middle Eastern economies moving away from the dollar pegs or stopping using oil and dollar-denominated oil contracts. Has that pinged your radar any?
Well, yeah, of course, it's already started. Iran has quit taking dollars. They want to be paid in euros or yen or whatever. Saudi Arabia did not break their peg to the dollar this week. However, when we lowered interest rates, they didn't follow. So they're de facto inching towards the door. Qatar came off their dollar peg several months ago. We can see Russia and Putin doing the same thing. They've made the ruble convertible and really are angling to have their energy exports priced in rubles.
Point taken. So I see the dollar continuing to fall, if anything, because of still we have the trade deficit putting pressure on the dollar. What do you see on as far as the dollar in its
Well, the dollar
movement?
may rally for a little while, but yeah, it's probably going to bleed to death. I'm really not looking for a dollar crash because the dollar is really the only currency in the world where both the shorts and the longs don't want it to change. And
whoa. Okay, what does that mean?
Well, the longs, that's the people that are holding dollars, whether it be the Chinese government or the Middle East or, there's so many dollars sitting overseas, like, probably tens of trillions of dollars sitting in the hands of foreigners. Mm-hmm. So they don't want to see the dollar go down because it means the purchasing power of the script that they've accepted for what they sold us is losing value.
Okay.
And at the same time, the shorts are the U.S. Treasury, which are the people that are printing it.
They don't want it to go down because they want to be our economy. They don't want short-term inflation, or they don't want the price of oil to keep going up, gold, commodities, etc. Right?
No, they want to be able to print the money and give the baloney to offshore suppliers and not ever have to pay for it. I mean, that's the whole thing that's wonderful for Washington is that they are able to buy elections and buy crude oil and pay for government expenses and all sorts of things. Those printing presses are fairly interesting inventions if people will take it. I'm in full agreement with you as far as. Let me ask you this, Ty. I've been studying a lot of libertarian economics, and I've never liked the Fed ever since I was in college. I always looked at it as there's market failures are bad, but then government failures are even worse. How much am I in the majority not liking the Fed and wanting the abolishment of a central bank? Oh, well, it's never going to be abolished. It's owned by foreigners. The Federal Reserve is owned by bankers in Europe and around the world, some of the oldest banking families in the world, and they bought it in 1913 when it was created for a song, and they really use it to fleece us all. And the dollar has lost 98% of its value since that time, and it's going to continue to lose its value. It's an instrument of theft, and they steal it out of your bank account while it's sitting there at night. Because your dollar is worth something today. If they print $20 billion of it tonight, well, your dollars are equivalently worth less, and that's why crude oil is broken out above 80, and got technical signals to heading towards 98, and gold's headed for $150 higher, and the stock market going up in terms of dollars really is an illusion. And I urge your viewers to go look at my most recent newsletter where I chart the S&P in dollars and then I chart it in gold. And that really shows you the illusions that are being perpetrated on the broad public, which really doesn't have enough time to understand these things.
Tedbits, they can find it at tedbits.com. Traderview.com is your brokerage firm.
Yeah, traderview.com, and go into the archives. Subscriptions are free, Saul, for your viewers.
Mm-hmm. So you can go ahead and get that. You know what? Hey, Ty, do you have an extra 15 minutes? I really want to understand this view about the Fed being owned by
by outsiders. I've heard this theory. I want to say theory because I was never a big fan, again, of it. But I hear a lot of people saying that, hey, it is owned by this. They are stealing from us. Can you stick with us for another few minutes after the break and go over this with us? Or
my pleasure.
Okay. So, again, we have Ty Andros, editor of Tedbits newsletter and Traderview.com. And like I said, I've watched a lot of videos on this. I've talked to a lot of people. I've watched Ron Paul, the Libertarian candidate, talk about this, how it could be owned. I've seen a lot of scary things, and it just doesn't seem. I'll tell you what, Ty, I really don't believe in conspiracy theories because people get drunk and people tell their wives and their mistresses, and secrets get out. So although I am against the Fed, I've never fully believed that it was owned by all these weird, all these shadowy figures that are fleecing us of dollars. I just look at it as there's a central bank, and they're too and the government's too cowardly to tax us, or they just want to keep giving out handouts, so they have to keep printing the money. That I believe, but to say that it's owned by shadowy figures and they're making
I wouldn't call them shadowy figures. It's just really not advertised. It is easily verifiable.
Okay, so tell you what, let's go ahead and move to a break. And Ty, can you go over the Fed with us and your rationale for your comments about how this inflation is being generated and how these bankers all over the world are stealing from us. Okay, Ty?
Sure.
All right, we'll be right back with Ty Andros from Traderview. So stay with us. Market news first, news you can trust.